Welcome back, everybody, to the Scatter Roots podcast. I'm here with my man Rudy. How you doing, Rudy?
Hey, that was pretty smooth. That's the best we've done.
You think?
Yeah, I think so.
Sorry,
that got me excited.
All right, let's
No?
get into it.
Hey, what's up, man? I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing all right. I'm not gonna ask you how you are.
Again? For the third time?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Finally, when we listen back, bro. We're learning a lot.
Yeah, we have.
Thank you. Thank you to everybody that's listened, that has, if you made it to episode, now this will be 4. It is...
We probably have like 3 people with us at this point.
What do you mean?
No
like
one
listeners?
listening. Yeah.
Oh, nah, bro. I believe. The content is there, bro. I feel like it.
All right.
We'll see how it goes.
I hope you're right.
Well, if you have listened, thank you guys so much for listening. This is episode 4 of the Scatter Roots podcast with my co-host Kevin. I'm Rudy. And we are... So this episode is going to be a little bit different. We are winging this to the fullest. Like, we literally walked in today not having a really good idea of what we're going to talk about.
Why are you snitching?
Because I feel like it's good to provide context.
You're dry snitching right now. Actually, no, you're just full snitching.
I mean, who cares, bro?
All right,
Call
cool.
me 6'9". Actually, do not. I hate that, man. But
He's a fucking rat.
I think we came up with some pretty good stuff. We'll see how it goes. We're just going to go with the flow today. We're going to see how
So what do we come up with?
relationships.
Oh, no. Oh, no.
So provide some context, right? It is I'm not going to give you an exact date because I feel like we keep playing ourselves with telling you what time it is and we don't know when this is going to release. But it is...
Valentine's Day is around the corner.
Around the corner, right? So I think it's a good time to talk
Which is a
about...
made-up holiday that shouldn't exist anyways.
Why, Kevin? You went on a rant earlier. Why?
Because, man, it was just fabricated by the man to get us to spend our coins.
Who's the man? And is he white?
He's always white.
Yeah.
The man is always white. I mean, I don't know who the man is, but he's white. That's one thing I know.
Okay, fair. Well, actually, the history of... I guess it's the Roman Catholic Church, right? The Valentine's Day. Is that the white man?
They're super white.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
They're the OG whites.
I guess. Well, nonetheless, it is Valentine's Day is around the corner. And so we thought it'd be a good time to talk about relationships in our culture and outside of our culture and just kind of give a little insight into like our stories and everything like that. So we'll see how it goes. Like I said, we don't have much prepared, but we're just going to get jumping with that. So you're not big into Valentine's based on what you just said?
What do you mean by big? Like, do
you celebrate it? Like, do you have dinner? I used to be like, I was always down to do like the week after. Right, like we'll do the 21st when everything's half off.
I was like, where are you going with this?
When we can make reservations. That's how I celebrated.
Okay.
I mean, but
that's fair. Reservations on Valentine's Day is like impossible.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Yeah.
But
everyone's booked up. And
what
stuff.
about now? Do you have plans for Valentine's Day?
I mean, stay home because where are we going?
It's a panoramic, but like...
Oh, what? Excuse me?
You haven't seen that on Twitter?
No.
Fucking loser. So we're in the middle of a pandemic, right? Yeah. A panorama.
I think you had a stroke.
And so, yeah, so I guess you're not going to make reservations? You don't have any plans? I guess let me not ruin that for you, right? Because...
No, I don't know. I see. That's a good question. I don't know. I didn't even realize that Valentine's Day was around the corner until we had this discussion.
Yeah.
So check back with me in like a week or 2.
I got you. We'll see.
I don't know yet. No, but I mean, do I celebrate? I mean, yeah, but I just feel like it's something you kind of have to do.
You have to do it. You don't want to out of the love in your heart.
Sure.
Remember, there's someone watching us as you answer these questions.
I'm not gonna look to my right. But no, yeah. I mean, it's
do
cool.
you enjoy celebrating your significant? So you're in a relationship, right? Like, I guess let's get out of the way. Kevin? Are you in a relationship?
Yes.
He finally answered the question.
Yes.
And I am not.
Why not?
Ask my therapist. That's deep.
Do you want to be?
Ask my therapist.
Oh, no.
I mean, you know.
I don't. That's why I'm asking.
I mean, you know.
It's cool. You don't have to answer the question.
Yeah.
Move on.
Okay, so on that, but do you enjoy celebrating?
Yeah. I mean, no, that's fine. Like, yeah, but like the whole fact that it's like it has to be like on Valentine's Day, like it's whatever. Like,
yeah,
like whether it's Valentine's Day or a random Saturday, who cares? I don't know. But yeah.
How is dating kind of in just like from your adolescence to now kind of been with? You've always dated, I'm assuming, Latina women. Have you ever dated outside of?
Yeah, actually, I think I've only dated.
Yeah.
Latinas, yeah.
Oh, okay. You've only dated. Okay, cool.
Yeah. Well,
do you think like your culture has a lot to do with who and like the way you perceive relationships?
The way I perceive it? What do you mean by
like just like going into it, like kind of like I don't know, just the general dynamic of a relationship.
Yeah, probably. I don't know where you're going with this question. What are you talking about right now?
Like just like young, right? Like, did you ever stop yourself from dating someone because of
Okay.
XYZ? Like,
No.
or even like now, right? Like if you've considered marriage, like I don't know if you have, has that kind of been something in the back of your mind, like, you know, or like one, like culture, right? Gender, right? You're a guy. So has that kind of always played a role? Like, what's kind of been your general understanding of relationships just as a Latino man in?
I guess growing up, like I didn't really think about it. So I would say no, it didn't. It's like, so when I was younger, though, I was only attracted to like Latinas. I don't know why. Like I wasn't attracted to any other creed or color or whatever, like period. So that it never really came to like in my mind. I was like, oh, it's because I'm Latino. I don't know. It's just maybe it's what I was comfortable with subconsciously, but it wasn't like a thought on the forefront of my mind. You know what I mean? So yeah, I wouldn't say it played too much of a part. In how I viewed like
what about being like a male? Like, do you feel like I don't know? I feel like that's a big part of like relationships, right? Like the way that men act in a relationship and the way that women act in a relationship. Even just like the concept of like approaching a woman, right? And that's like not even like Latino and like just not just doesn't belong to us, right? In general, right? Like a male approaches a woman and like asks and like courts, and
that's like such a weird thing to do, and I haven't had to do it in such a long time.
Also, you've been courted?
No, what are you talking about? What? No,
you were approached, like you were the one that was.
No, which kind of fell into our laps. So I've never been good with that. Like I don't know how to do that, like approach somebody, and I think.
But you was a player before. We went to high school together. We talked about this
again with the snitching.
What you mean? Everyone knows that's not. It's not
Nobody
a snitch.
Knows that.
I mean,
a lot of people don't know that.
The people in the room know that, and that's what matters.
Yeah.
I mean, the listeners matter too.
I don't know. I don't remember how I did it. That was like freaking 12 years ago or whatever. Like that was old me, man. That was in the past.
Yeah, you was definitely out here in the streets.
It would just come naturally. I think I was just talking. That's all it was. I was just talking. Like it just kind of, I liked meeting people, I guess, and just talking and see where things went. But no, like whenever with my current relationship, like approaching, like I had no idea how to do it. I actually saw her. If we want to get into it, it's pretty corny. But I met her in college.
Why is it corny?
Because
it's like beautiful.
How I meet, whatever. Nobody cares. Nobody fucking cares. No, so like
she cares, Kevin.
She probably does. So I saw her during orientation. Like, you know, you have like freshman orientation. I don't know if you did. We had to like, go for like a day or two, whatever it was. Yeah. I don't know. And I saw her there, but I mean, I was with like my mom and dad or whatever. But I just remember like, oh, she.
And you thought she was cute.
Yeah, cute girl, whatever. But one, I didn't know how to do it, or I didn't know what to do. I was just like, whatever. Like, I'll never see her again type shit. Like, I'm here, like, little snot-nosed high school kid. Like, I'll probably never see her again. And then we walk into, I had a engineering lab on Monday at 8 a.m., like, first day of school. And being a dumb freshman, we didn't know that you don't have labs on the first week of school, at least not at the school I went to. So we all showed up, and like I see her there. I'm like, oh my God. Yes. You know what I mean? Like she's in my class or whatever. I had no idea.
That is corny.
Yeah. I didn't even know she was like an engineer. Just a girl I saw walking down the street during orientation. So yeah, she just so happened to be there. But we didn't meet that day because that day, like I said, there's no lab. We all left after like 10 minutes when no professor showed up or no TA or whatever.
And how long ago was this now?
That was my freshman year. So
all right, I'll let you think about that later because actually we'll come back to that.
I have no idea.
But okay, cool. So like going into it, like no, it didn't really play a role. But like, what about now that you're in a relationship? Do you feel like a lot of, I guess, responsibility in being right? Because the way I imagine it, right? Like I guess I have to provide context of why I asked this question because
I don't know where you're going with this.
I think a lot of people view relationships, right? Their first kind of perspective on relationships is their parents, right? And that like interaction like that you see between like them. And so I know where I come from, like everyone in my family, my parents especially, right? Like the man is the provider, right? The woman is kind of subservient to like, and that
whoa.
Yeah, pause, right? Like I'm not saying that this is like, that's just like what you see, right? And so I guess I'm just asking, do you feel like you need to kind of abide by those rules? Like, do you feel like you need to be a provider? Like, what does that look like now?
I think that's a good question because now that you finally get to where the hell you were going, I was very confused.
Like I said, bro, we winging it. We just going.
Yeah, actually, so for sure, like being the man or whatever, I do feel like I have to provide, and I like take pride in being able to, right? So 100% like agree there. Now the other part where like the women is subservient, I know what you're talking about, right? Like you see like when you go, or whenever like dinner's made, like the mother always serves like the father, whatever, like type shit or whatever. So I like that part. It feels kind of weird in the sense of like, because it's all you've known growing up, you feel like it's kind of natural. Like you feel like that's the way it is. That's the way it should be. But the should is a weird word, right? Because I don't mean that in like a machista way, even though that might be like where it comes from. It just kind of feels ingrained in you, you know?
Yeah.
And so whenever it's not that, now it feels weird. But so that being said, like, as you grow up, like, you know, maybe when I was younger, I would be like, no, like the woman has to do this or whatever. Like because you didn't know no better.
Yeah.
Right. But now with like,
but you know better now.
Yeah. Yeah. Like
Man's is woke.
I don't expect my significant other to like wait on me hand and foot and serve me like my dinner all the time. You know what I mean? Like if she wants to, like, yo, that's awesome or whatever. Like, you know, but no, I don't.
That's awesome.
I don't think it's no. I mean, just food. I love eating.
If she wants to, you know, be subservient, you know, like she has the option.
You always have the option to be subservient.
Are you ever subservient? Do you ever like force yourself to be the opposite side of the coin?
I try to help where I can, like for sure. Like there's a lot of times where like I'll help her. You know what I mean? Like if she's struggling with like work or whatever, or she doesn't have time to do certain things, like I'll help pitch in. Like I'm not like just like not fucking.
Yeah,
you got
like
this
you
mess
actually.
or whatever. Yeah, like I'll help.
We're getting confirmation in the background. Good job, Kevin.
Yeah,
we'd love to see it
for sure. So yeah, no, like that's what I'm saying. I don't. It's not an expectation for the woman to be subservient. But that being said, no, for sure. Like I grew up seeing that, and so it's kind of like again, you just think.
So you saw that with your parents, like you kind of saw those roles be solidified. For
sure, yeah, and even then, it's not like with my parents at least. It's not like my dad was like a toxic masculine dude where he was like, "Where's my dinner?" You know, type stuff.
Yeah, he wasn't super machista about it. Because I feel like there's like definitely like, again, everything exists on a spectrum, right? There's circumstances where you see where it's like the fullest extent of like, you know, machismo, like gender roles, like it's very, very toxic, very, very traditional in a sense. And then there's certain circumstances where it's a little bit of this, but not as much as that. So I guess in this circumstance where like, I guess they kind of confined to their gender role or conformed to their gender roles, but it wasn't from like a toxic like standpoint. Like there was still like balance there.
Yeah, I think that's a great way to put it. For sure. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think so. Yeah, like I always just saw my mom just serve my dad food or whatever, and like she didn't do it begrudgingly.
But what about you now? Like if you were to go out to a party, do you like sit down and expect like your significant other to bring you a plate?
Ooh, where's the party?
It's your family's.
Oh, that's weird. It's weird. I'll say it's weird but that's because of the expectation the family puts on you.
Okay, but what about you?
For me, I wouldn't care. Like if it's like.
But okay, so you don't care. But no. What do you do?
What do you mean? What do I do?
So like, what do you do? You just walked into a quinceañera.
Okay.
Right. There is.
I haven't gone to one of those in ages.
Ages, bro. Hey, I need to though. You
I
know,
was
so
all
I'm ready to cut up
things. That was kind of like.
Were you a big
I've been to like 4 quinceañeras, so like.
Oh, okay.
No, not
bro.
Really.
Like that was like, bro. Freshman year in high school, that was like the move.
I wasn't getting invited. I was a loser.
Oh, were you? Bro, you was cool, bro.
Nah, not yet.
You had some hoes back then. Maybe that's why you didn't get invited.
Again with the
snitching. You was the side chick.
Oh no.
But no. So like, yeah. What do you do? Do you sit down and kind of hope that Monica picks up, or I'm sorry, significant other picks up the cues? Again, it depends on where it's at, right? If it's like with my family, this is your family. I gave you the setting.
Yeah. So because I know certain people are gonna be like, look at it a certain type of way. I try to tell. It's weird. It's just an awkward feeling, right? Like I guess that dudes just sit down and be like, "Hey, go get the food. Go get us food." Yeah, go.
Interesting.
But I think that's the expectation that is put on you, and
that one's like the weird. Biggest, like the biggest one, right? Like, do you serve your man? Like,
yeah,
that's like the biggest example.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I think because they do again they've conformed to their roles like you said earlier, and it's like a tradition, right? Even like it doesn't necessarily have to be a toxic thing, even though it ends up resulting in quote unquote toxic behavior, but because they've kind of accepted it as their norm. Again, anything that is outside of their norm, they view as weird, right? Yeah. So, like as the parents or as whatever the older generation, they see it and they're like, what the heck? Why isn't she serving? Like, she don't really like him type. Like they'll turn into something else, right? Like, oh, if she's not doing this, she's because she doesn't really like him or da 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 da. You know, like they'll twist it to something else.
I got you.
He's not worthy or she's not worthy. Or
I think it's one of those things where, at least I believe there is kind of, I don't want to say benefit, right? But there can be like a positive to that kind of dynamic, right? Like, I think it's okay if the man expects to be the provider, and you know, if you have kids or a family and the wife decides to stay at home, as long as there's that understanding, right? Like, as long as this is what you want to do and this is what I want to do, like it can be beneficial. But I feel like the hardest part is, at least in our culture, it's expected, right? And anything outside of that is looked down upon. And I think that's kind of when we start kind of trending on the line where like, hey, like this is not okay. And so that's interesting that I ask, because I feel like I said, I feel like parents play a big role in that. And so in my circumstance, like I think it's been an ever-changing dynamic. Like I definitely think I was raised with those beliefs. An example, my mom, would always tell me, like, yo te lavo los calzones, like, no te cases con alguien que te va a hacer que te laves los tuyos, right? Like, no, don't marry.
We'll have subtitles for the
people. You. Like,
we'll have subtitles for people that don't understand Spanish. What did that mean, Rudy?
That essentially, right? Like, I wash your underwear for you. Don't marry a woman that's gonna make you wash your own underwear.
And you know what's crazy?
And this was my mom.
Yeah, I was about to say that. You know what's crazy? That's coming from the mom, the woman.
Yeah.
Right? So that's what I'm saying. Like, they've conformed to this, right? Like, they don't view it as toxic. It's not like they're victim, like, or they're not victims in their own. You know what I mean? Like
they don't view themselves as, but I think, so that was when I was much younger. And I think, and that's why I said, like, in my circumstance, like, things have changed a lot. Like, the relationship between my parents, I think, has, like, shifted a lot.
Latin boys are usually, like, spoiled by their mothers. That's, like, the thing,
I am the only boy. I have 2 sisters. I am a middle child. I don't have middle child syndrome, I don't think. And I am, like, el rey in la familia.
You're spoiled.
So but I wash my own underwear now.
Disgusting.
What, you don't wash your underwear?
No, I mean, like,
what's the opposite of that? What do you mean?
I don't want to talk about your underwear.
You don't wash, I mean, who cares?
Ew.
But back to the point. So yeah, like that's my point, right? So it's interesting. Like, that's kind of what I saw, right? And I used to say these things, and this was even when I was in a relationship in high school. Like,
dang, you told your girl you washing my underwear?
Definitely.
Oh my god!
I said my mom told me this. Hold on.
No wonder you're not in a relationship. Now see, it comes. I see that the pieces are connecting.
And I used to be like, "Are you gonna tell me my mom is wrong?
You go talk down on my mother?
Are you gonna talk down on my mother's opinions and thoughts?
Over. We're done.
Yeah.
Yeah. No wonder you're single.
So
I see it now, ladies.
But I'm not like that anymore.
Okay, cool.
I think I've come around, right? I've seen, and so that's the thing. Like, I've seen, like, in my circumstance,
seen the error of your ways,
or the error in my parents' ways, right? Like, that's my point, right? Is that I've learned a lot from, like, seeing that dynamic, and it doesn't, in a lot of circumstances, it doesn't work, right? You end up where people are in a position where they don't really love, like, their day-to-day lives, right? And, like, or there's just a lot of animosity between people, and you're, like, trying to, like, again, fulfill a role that you're forced into more than you are, again, like, in agreement on, right? Like again, if there's an understanding, if you guys agree,
yeah,
like,
if she
this
wants
is
to
a
wash
balance,
your underwear, you're not gonna stop her.
Yeah, for sure. Like, you know, like, if you want to, any day, you know. But, like, if I want to mow the lawn, you know what I'm saying, or XYZ, like, whatever you want to say.
What if she expects you to mow the lawn?
I'm okay with that. Like, I think that's my thing. Is, like, I am okay with doing those things. I guess the expectation of it is kind of, like, annoying sometimes. I think the biggest one, though, is really being the provider, right? Because that one really puts you in a box. Because you got to make
You want to be a stay-at-home dad?
Dude, I would love to be a stay. Would you not?
Yes.
Dude, oh my
Must
God.
be nice.
Nice, dog. I'll go to the gym. I'll stay fine for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'll stay nice and tight, nice and right.
Okay.
I mean, if you're making bread, you know,
Talk
that's the
your
least
shit.
I can do, you know?
You're right. That's the least you can do.
But then, like, what if she's not and I am? That's tough. Let's move on.
He's not shallow, I promise.
I'm not shallow. I don't think. I mean, we're all a little vain.
Yeah.
All right, next topic. I kind of alluded to it earlier. Have you? So you've never dated anyone side of just being so you're Mexican American with the Guatemalan that you don't really know a lot about, but you've only dated Mexican women.
Yeah. I mean, at the time before my current relationship, like that, just because I didn't want to, like, you know, I don't know why, but it wasn't attracted to like nothing else. So yeah, I would only talk to Latinas. That wasn't a thing in my house. And it's not like I never had the thing. I'll ask you here in a second. But I never had the thing where like you better not date any like black woman or this, that, or that, or whatever. Like that wasn't a thing.
Anybody else?
Yeah, that wasn't a thing. Because I just so happened to only date.
I think your example is very interesting because so you're in the relationship. If I can kind of like ask, you're in a relationship right now where she's Mexican American, but culturally, like how Mexican is your girlfriend, would you say? On a scale of 1 to 10.
4. 5, 4,
4 or 5? Okay.
Yeah.
Did that like make a huge impact? Obviously it didn't, right? Like because y'all have been dating for a while now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that's like
if anything, it's been the biggest, I think, like impact or obstacle, quote unquote, is whenever she has had to try to interact with some of my family members that don't speak English. Because she does not speak the greatest of Spanishes. She's been learning. She actually speaks it relatively well for someone who like didn't grow up speaking Spanish or whatever.
And I think that's why I ask.
Like her whole
it's
family
important.
doesn't speak.
Exactly. It's one of those things where it's not obviously their fault, but there's obviously a difference because that's and that's kind of the entire reason that we are having the discussion, right? That's its own culture within itself, right? Like in her circumstance, right? She has Mexican background. Mexican Americans that don't speak English.
Kind of very assimilated type stuff.
And very assimilated into American culture. And so like, right, they look the part. And I know and I can't speak on those stories, but I know they definitely feel a certain type of way about like, right, being looked at as like the yo no sabo Mexicans, right? Or Latinos. And like I said, it's they're in their own kind of pocket within our culture. And so I guess I'm just interested because I haven't been in that circumstance. So like how that has impacted yourself, like your relationship, your parents, like kind of what have they said about that entire dynamic?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a big thing outside of just like, oh, man, you don't know this, you don't know that. Like the biggest thing is the language. Like I said, I don't know how. I'm just trying to talk to like my grandma who doesn't speak any English or whatever.
Your parents speak English though.
Yeah. So
both of them. Okay.
Yeah, so it's a non-issue with like
they
my
can
parents.
speak to. Okay. I think that's important.
But again, like she actually has been speaking Spanish relatively well, so it's not like a huge thing. But outside of just like, you don't know certain things like pop culture or whatever reference or whatever, like it hasn't been a huge thing. Like that's why I say maybe 5 was a tad low, like when I said 4 or 5, because she does like, so she grew up with like Tejano music, right? Like that's mainly in Spanish. So she listens to Tejano music. She grew up watching like telenovelas with like her grandma or whatever, like, so she does have a good bit of that culture. Right?
Yeah, and I think that's the entire reason we're talking, right? Is because it is its own culture in itself, right? And when you feel like you don't belong, right? There's a lot of individuals from that kind of circumstance where they feel like they're really, really in between, right? Because they look very Latino.
Yeah.
And
very nopaludo.
Yeah, con el nopal en la frente.
Yeah.
And they sometimes feel like they're not meeting the expectation that is like placed upon them. And so it's that's why we're having this discussion. And I think that's interesting, right? My sister's in a similar circumstance, right? Like her husband he looks more Mexican than I do, not even gonna lie to you, but he's like a 4th generation, like Mexican American.
Oh yeah,
Speaks
same with her, I think.
No English. I'm sorry, he speaks no Spanish. He's mute. He actually doesn't speak at all. No, he speaks no Spanish. And my mom doesn't speak any English, so that's always been like they try.
How do they communicate with like sign languages?
Nah, bro.
What do they do?
There's just some really funny stories when they try to talk where like
do they have to draw it out like Pictionary?
Nah, bro. Like they just my mom speaks very poor English and he speaks very poor Spanish. And the whole like embarazado example that we gave earlier, like estoy bien embarazado.
What is he trying to say?
No, like that example that I gave you earlier when like someone says like when someone tries to say I'm embarrassed and they say estoy bien embarazado. Okay. Like that has happened to them a lot, like all the time where like he's trying to translate the word.
I'm so pregnant right now.
Exactly, I'm so pregnant, and my mom's like, "Get." But
that's hilarious.
But no, that's interesting. I think we'll see a lot more of that in the future, right? As we move on, because like I said, like there's gonna be more and more that if you have kids. Do you think? I know the goal is to have them be fluent in Spanish. I'm sure.
Yeah.
But
I'm so like prideful of like my culture. I would want them to.
You're gonna force it. What's your plan?
What's my plan?
Yeah.
I don't got one. Stick with my mom and dad. Let them take care of it.
Bro, me too. I feel like that's the easiest way.
Yeah.
Hey, ship them to Mexico for like 3 months.
Their abuelito and abuelita
every summer. That's what my parents did with me when my Spanish started getting bad. At the end of every summer for school, drive down there. My dad would leave me, come pick me back up like 2 days before school started.
Who would you leave you with?
My grandma. I mean, I still have a lot of family there, right? Like I used to like stay with my grandma and like my tios. Like we all live on one street. So it'd be like my tia, my grandma, my tío, my tia. Like so it was just we were just living.
That's how you learn Spanish.
That's how I got better at Spanish. Okay. That's when I started losing it, right? I was playing a lot of basketball. I was starting,
hanging with the wrong people. The hoodlums.
Oh, hold on now. Calm down.
I'm just playing.
Before you get canceled. But no, you brought it up earlier, like, right, dating outside of your, not just your culture, but your race.
Mm-hmm. What about you? Have you? Uh-oh. Here come the therapist again.
Bro, yeah, no. So I haven't dated outside. I haven't dated a lot, to be very honest. And that's mostly because I just dated once a lot. I was in a very long relationship.
Well, you was all Romeo.
I was. So yeah, we've talked about this, right? Like we've kind of done a little tango. We traded places. Mm-hmm. I was a certified lover boy back in high school.
Boy, was he. The man did all the things.
All the things.
So romantic,
I remember, so you remember, you know what? This random thought came into my head. You remember we used to get checks for passing AP test?
Yeah. Don't tell me you blew it all on her.
All of it, bro.
Oh my God.
I got my AP test check, bro. I went to Tiffany, bro. I was 15 years old, 16 years old, walked into Tiffany & Co. and was
what are you doing in Tiffany's? Get out of there.
Bro, exactly, bro.
I think I remember you buying her like a thing that had y'all's name on it, like engraved, like in some engraved little.
It was it was her initial, I believe. That was like, yeah, bro. That was like our 1 month anniversary.
You guys are so cute.
Oh
my God.
All right, so we've traded places since then. And not
how
like
the turntables.
How the turntables. But so I was in that relationship for a very long time. So I haven't dated outside of
You've been scarred.
My race or culture.
No, here we go.
Ask my therapist. But I have since then, right? I have dated, right? Like the more like grown date. Because that was like in high school, right? Dating is like boyfriend, girlfriend. Nowadays, dating is more like just going out, hanging out, like get to know somebody outside a little bit.
Yeah, you don't go full blown in the pool. You just kind of dip your toes.
Yeah, no, I definitely am just scared of commitment. So like, you know. It's just,
okay, well, have you?
But I feel like no one has. Again, like I haven't been with that individual. I can't really speak to like the dynamic of what it would be like. But I definitely know that like if I had, it would be very different, right? And that came back to like some of the stories that I said before, right? Where my parents used to be very, hey, Rudy has a black like girlfriend, right? And it was just my friend, and like I was laughed about, right? Like they used to make jokes and XYZ. So I definitely know if I had, things would have been said, things would have been whispered. And in this circumstance, I've seen it play out a lot differently in other people's lives. For example, like I was talking about this earlier. I know friends that have been told by their parents, like if you ever bring a black guy home, right? And I feel like that's kind of the biggest one, right? When it's a girl bringing a guy home, like if you ever bring a black guy home, that's, you know, like you got to move out. Like that's the end of it. Like I won't have that here in this household. Like that's unacceptable.
Do you think that's solely because of the race part, or is a little bit is the like just being protective of the? I'm sure it's both, but I'm saying.
I mean, I think again, because it's women, right? Like some of it is just being protective, but that statement within itself is completely about race, right? It's like, don't bring a black, because again, like I can understand if they said don't bring a guy home, right? Like you can't bring like anyone home, like in this house. Again, I had one of my friends in college who was dating I don't know what she was. I don't know if she was Mexican or not. But her dad was very machista, like, bro, like to the bone. And like I never met this man before, but he would just tell me like, I can't even pick her up or drop her off. Like I will drive somewhere to go pick her up from like, you know, like 2-3 blocks away.
Wait, no, racist, right? You're not machista. Yeah. You said machista already.
Well, no, that's just like he was very. He was the whole package, right? Racist, machista, like. Again, I never met this man, so who knows? Like, right? He might be a good guy otherwise, but like, I think that's something that we do see. I think it's unfortunate. I think if I ever were to have kids, right, I'd just be like, you know, do what you want to do, love who you want to love. Like, it is what it is. But I definitely think it's a issue that sometimes needs to be spoken about, especially now that we are like, if you're 20 years old and plus, right, like you need to be having these conversations with your own parents about like, hey, the things you said, right, like the stereotypes that you tried to like put on me, like these things that I heard,
they're not right,
even though I didn't understand them, like they were not okay. So yeah, it's tough, man, but let's get to it. Oh, I had another kind of quick topic. What about dating outside of your religion or someone that's not religious at all? Because religion in our culture is like very intertwined.
Yeah, I don't know. Like from like an expectations from like parents or whatever, kind of like if we liken it to the race thing, I don't think that there's a lot. I personally experienced a lot of that. It was never really a thing. Again, I've only dated like Latinas, and we're not super religious, so we weren't out here. Like,
are you gonna get married to the church? Ooh, when you do get married,
that's a toughie. But not,
hey, when are you gonna get married?
Shut up. How about that?
Okay,
that's a toughie, but not because of
for sure.
Not from my side of the
okay.
I don't know. That's a good question. I have no idea. We're gonna have to cross that bridge when we get
there.
What
do you consider yourself?
I'm Catholic.
And what is your significant other?
Non-denominational Christian, whatever that.
Gotcha. But your family's Catholic.
Yeah.
And what is her family?
What I just said, non-denominational Christian.
She's a Trump Christian, right? Not her, but like the family.
I don't know if we're gonna get into. Yeah. Yes.
I mean, we don't have to, but like it's okay. So like it's not that it's a bad thing, right? But I think there's definitely conflict in the way that.
Yeah. No. So like I can speak a little bit to it, just without applying it to them or whatever. Like growing up, like my parents or whatever, we're Catholic, right? We've interacted with a lot of Christian, like I think one of my uncles was like married to like a Christian woman or some, I don't know, but there's always kind of like that beef between Catholics and Christians or whatever,
which I was never like, I never really understood.
Yeah, I don't. That's why I'm kind of hesitant to talk, because again, I'm not like the most well-versed Catholic. I'm not like the most religious person, right? Like it's kind of very like culturally Catholic, right? Because freaking 95% of Mexicans are Catholic. So like,
or Jehovah's Witness. I feel like that's the 5%. Yeah.
I don't know. So like my like knowledge of Catholicism is just like kind of like just through my grandma or my tios or my tias, right? It's never like I don't think I've ever read a Bible. I don't do Bible stuff. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
So I'm not. Like,
were you ever in a youth group?
No.
Interesting.
Like I haven't.
Was your significant other ever in a youth group?
I don't know.
That you know of?
I don't know, but they do Bible studies and stuff like that.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So like I said, it's not a huge thing, but like we've always felt that there's always been like a lot of prejudice is the right word? I don't know, but like how some Christians will be like, oh, because you believe in certain things, because you believe in like saints, right? Like that's a big one.
Yeah.
Like, or the Virgin Mary, right? Like we're out here praying to the Virgin Mary, so therefore like you're up what's it called? Praising false idols. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
And so
word
they
to
view
J.
that
Cole.
as bad. Huh?
Word to J. Cole.
Right.
False prophets.
So they view it as bad. Like they view it as like that's like condemning enough or whatever.
So with you being Catholic and her being non-denominational Christian, do you expect to get married through the church? Just for yourself? Like, is that what you would hope? Do you even care?
I guess I don't. Like haven't really thought too much about that part. We gotta cross some bridges first. Like,
okay, yeah, for sure.
You're thinking like 6 steps ahead.
I mean,
you gotta slow down.
You got to, bro.
Yeah, it's a good point. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's gonna be a conversation.
Okay.
I don't know.
After this podcast.
Yeah, I'm probably on the way home. I'm gonna get scolded.
No, it's interesting. I definitely think dating outside of your religion in my family is that's probably bigger than like dating outside of your race, specifically because my family is very Catholic. And so I definitely know my mom expects me to get married through the church. My aunt is a nun. She's like a Catholic nun. Like she lived in Rome. She, you know.
Oh, you're hardcore.
Bro, like there's a picture in our house in the hallway, and it's like my tia with the Pope. Like, you know, yeah,
which
bro,
one?
they just dapping it up.
The
what's his
Juan
name?
Pablo?
The cool one. What was his name?
Juan Pablo or the like the most recent one? I think I'm pretty sure.
Nah, the one two before.
I don't know. I have no idea.
But yeah, it's them. Like, you know what I'm saying? They chilling. They like, you know, dapping up each other up and, you know,
Dang, that's
doing. Every time she would come visit, bro, she would like bring me like gifts that were like mad. Like, you know how they be praying like, oh. She would give me like keychains that
I
like
need you to never do that again. Please.
Amen.
All
Like,
right.
you know the long ones? They like rub it. Bro, she would like bring me keychains that like would play like different like beats. Like, you know, like I'm just walking around with like a amen keychain. But yeah, I definitely think if I were to get like the day that I do bring someone home to get married, that I think would be a very tough conversation. If they were either not Catholic, if they were Christian, maybe it'd be a little bit easier. If they were neither, it'd be very difficult. And if they were atheist or agnostic, it would be very difficult. And that may be even difficult for me, right? Like I definitely like am not, like you said, the most religious person, but it's sometimes hard to detach that from my culture.
Yeah.
And so
I think that's the biggest thing for me, not to cut you off, but it's like, again, I'm very prideful of my heritage and my culture, and like the religion is a part of that because it's kind of like a cultural religion type thing. So yeah, 100%. Like that's the biggest thing with like is the expectation from the like perhaps my significant other side of the family to like conform to their. I'm like no. Like slowly. My religion is my religion. You know what I mean? Like, it's cool if you've got yours, but you're not going to mess with mine type stuff.
For
know
sure.
What I mean? So it's a weird interaction, weird sort of relationship type deal. So it's interesting. So I do you know, I guess that's it played a big influence or will play a big influence for you eventually whenever you get over your commitment issues.
Yeah, first we got to get through all them issues.
Again, 6 steps ahead.
That's one, right? That's just one. But I think it would be nice if like maybe we were on the same page, right? Like I think that's just important, and that's just with a relationship in general, right? If we're on the same page about a lot of different things, we can be not in agreement and still on the same page, right? Like, but you have to see how it plays out, right? Like that's one of those things that's kind of really hard.
So basically, your ideal like checklist in a woman is cleans your underwear and Catholic.
That's it.
All right.
I'm easy, bro.
All right. I think that's a pretty big pool.
You think, hey, bro, especially here in Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got you.
Hey, hit my line.
Yeah. We'll find you one.
Hey, Instagram, Rudy.dtx. Hey, and by the way, if y'all have not reported Rudy.dtx yet, please go report this page.
We don't have time for this. Move on.
Okay. All right. Move on. No, man, I mean, we had a couple other topics, but I think some of it may be better set for another day. We don't want to dive too hard into it. Do you have any last thoughts on just relationships and culture and love and all these beautiful things?
No.
Okay, cool. Well, with that being said, let's move on to I think one of a fan favorite, even though we don't really have any fans. We have some fans. They're all sitting here listening,
There's
right?
a total of 4, I think.
Hey, bro, we've got at least 5 or 6 so far. Hopefully a fan favorite. We'll move on to our next segment. So let's get it.
What segment?
Hold on, let me make sure I'm queued up for it. Okay, now I'm ready. Let's get it.
Oh, no, not this again. Are you serious? All right. You want me to look like an idiot?
I cannot do that.
Again?
This is you. Only you have that power, sir.
Oh, my God.
I always miss it. Fuck.
We're going to get demonetized again.
You think so?
Just kidding, guys. There's no monetization.
Yeah, we're not. Yeah, you can't take money that we don't have away.
You can't demonetize what isn't monetized.
All right, guys. Well, welcome back to Quizzing with Kevin. Today's edition.
Got to be the transition because we don't have a soundboard.
We don't have a soundboard yet. You know what I'm saying? It's all a work in progress. Thank you, guys. And so we are going to ask Kevin a couple of questions. Hopefully he knows the answers, especially because, there's someone else in the room that might want to care if they know the answers or not. So, very simply, Kevin, we got 5 questions on the docket.
So is this about relationships? Are we tying it in?
It's mostly about you and relationships.
Oh, no.
Or about
Okay.
yours. Let me step back. About your relationship.
I got this.
All right, you ready? So, we're going to start with I'm softball. You
All
got
right.
this one. Kevin,
Yeah.
when is your anniversary?
Oh my God, I just freezed up. October the 20th.
Of?
It's like, I gotta do math. I can't do math in my head.
You're an engineer.
Hold on. 2013? No, wait.
Ding, ding, ding. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
See, I was testing you.
Good job.
I was testing her through you. See what
Oh,
the
yeah?
answer?
Yeah. I saw you looking at the corner of
Dude,
your
you did the
eyes.
science.
So, that means that you've been dating now for
I don't know. Whatever that math adds up to be.
7 years and
There
some
you go.
months. Congratulations.
I don't do math.
I hate y'all. All right. So, with that being said, this one is I think it's a softball too. What is her favorite color?
Oh, it's like a teal type color, like a bluish green, whatever that.
All right, we're gonna refer to the
aquamarine blue, whatever the fuck.
aquamarine
I don't
blue.
know.
Aquaman
I don't know my
blue.
shades of green, of blue.
A blue. Okay,
Like
so
a
we're gonna
teal type.
all right. We're gonna refer to the judges. Does this give him a point?
Yeah.
All right, we'll give it to him. All right,
2 for
the
2.
correct answer
I'm
was
acing this test.
was turquoise.
Oh,
But you were
see?
marine,
teal
Aquaman,
turquoise
blue.
is the same
Yeah,
shit.
you was there. It's also her birthstone, right? Is that a thing?
I don't know anything about birthstones.
Oh, okay, cool.
I don't even know mine. So.
All right, so next question.
Would have failed that one.
When was your first date?
Like when
Let me re-ask this. When was your first kiss?
that's gonna reveal my. It was at midnight, yo. It's the thing that at A&M, fuck A&M. It's the thing at our school where like before football games, they have sort of like a pep rally the night before at midnight. Everybody goes to like the football stadium, and then there's like a part where like they'll cut off all the lights, and so you're supposed to like take dates, or not supposed to, but you can. Like it's a thing for this.
That's what people do, right?
Yeah, for this.
Like if you want to be a simp at A&M, you'd be like, "Hey, you trying to go to a midnight yell?"
Yeah, that's how.
What's up, shawty?
That's how all the geekies get meet their girls.
Oh yeah, I gotta say with a country accent.
Yeah.
You trying to go to a midnight yell?
All right, let's kiss in the moonlight. And so they cut off all the lights and
Trevor,
like,
you're my cousin.
they cut off all the lights, and when they cut off all the lights, you're supposed to like kiss your date. And if you didn't take,
Oh, did you do that?
Well, hold on. Well, let me finish. If you don't take a date, like if you're a loser, you can like put up a lighter, and like you find somebody else that has a lighter on,
And
because
then
they're single as
and
well.
then y'all kiss lighters
And
or
then-
what?
No, you kiss each other. Fool. You don't kiss the lighter.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you just
so if
find-
it's like two dudes with lighters next to each other, like,
You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes.
dang.
They might
Hey,
like
shout out to
down on
A&M
that.
for being so progressive.
They're absolutely not. I'm gonna put that out there. So yeah, so we went, and we didn't really.
So
go
what
as,
date?
like,
Do you know what date that was?
Fuck no. No.
Okay, we'll give you half that point. Okay, here's your chance to redeem. Here's the bonus part of that question. Do you know what game that midnight yell was for? Who you were playing?
Absolutely not. No, absolutely not. Because I didn't give a fuck about football. I was just trying to hang out with her. I didn't even really like.
Aww.
I was trying to talk to this girl for like the longest, and she wasn't feeling
What
me.
a simp.
That's not the point. But so we just went as like homies. It wasn't like an explicit date type thing or whatever. That's why like when the lights went off type stuff, I was like, dude, am I supposed
This
to?
is the chance.
Am I supposed?
This is my chance to kiss the girl that I saw at orientation. And I was like, damn.
Yep.
And she's an
And I
engineer.
did it. And I did it.
And look at you now.
No, I have no idea, but I'm gonna guess Georgia.
You were playing Auburn.
Fuck.
You
Hey,
were ranked.
Is that close?
Do you know where you were ranked?
Dude, no.
You're
What?
ranked number 7 at the time. Do you
How
know
do
if you won or lost that game?
Auburn. I don't know. Did we lose?
You did lose.
Yeah, we
Good
probably
guess. That was
lost.
probably, yeah. Y'all were good. That was Johnny Football days.
I remember that was Johnny.
Johnny Football.
Yeah,
Hey,
that was
shout
dope.
shout out to the man. Probably doing coke today.
Okay, he's living.
Probably. All right. So next question. What are her favorite flowers?
She just said this last time.
Dang.
I
You said
don't-
you have a good memory.
No, for flowers, I don't. What was the flowers you talked about last time?
I don't know.
Carnations.
You hate to see
Roses?
It's a trick question. She doesn't have a favorite flower.
Okay, man, fuck
Trick
you.
question. What do you me? I'm just the host here.
You created the
All right,
question.
next question. What are Monica's love languages?
Oh, quality time, I guess.
There's two. Everyone usually has two main love languages.
What are the options again? I don't know a thing about love languages. What are the
Okay,
options?
they are.
Can I get multiple choice?
I got you.
All right, here we
They
go.
are quality time,
Mm-hmm.
acts of service, gift giving, words of affirmation, and booty rubs.
Booty rubs. Booty rubs. Lock it in.
Actually, I forgot what the other one was. Do you have? I gave you one of the answer.
Quality time.
And
Oh, the other answer was in there?
yeah.
Oh, man. It wasn't booty rubs?
Okay, it was not booty rubs. That's not a
words
love
of
language.
affirmation.
Good job. Wow. Ding, 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 ding. What's your love language?
I guess it's gift giving.
Damn,
But
you're
I don't-
so shallow. Receiving gifts, not giving gifts.
I give a lot of gifts.
Yeah, but your love language is receive. Like your love language is what you want other people to do to you.
Oh, well.
Right.
I don't know. I just like giving gifts.
And do you like receiving gifts?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's your love language.
Okay.
All right. Well,
Did it pass?
I mean, hold on. I lost track. I think you do. What does the crowd say? Do we give a thumbs up? All right. Thumbs up, Kevin. Good job. Woo. Good job. You can have a Valentine's Day. She said she's going to do something special for you if you got enough questions right. So.
Oh, word?
I got you.
Is she going to take me to dinner? Because I'm tired of being the one. I'm just kidding. We're going to talk about gender
We just
roles.
talked about this, bro. Gender roles.
Why can't she take me to dinner?
All right. Well, with that being said, do you have any last comments, questions? Good job, man. You did a lot better today than you did last time.
Don't ask me populations no more.
Yeah, I know. That was terrible. But no, thank you guys so much. If you made it to the end of the episode for listening, we really do appreciate it. Again, my Instagram handle, you can find me at rudy.dtx. Kevin.
Coach Kev Ortiz.
And our podcast Instagram, once we get it up and running, Scattered Roots Pod.
Yeah.
Is that
yeah,
okay?
I
At
think
Scattered
that's
Roots
right.
Pod. We're gonna have some good content and some good outtakes that we've managed to catch because our interns are recording
At all
without our-
times. We
at
don't
all-
have any
yeah, with-
privacy.
yeah.
We have no sense of privacy.
We're gonna have to have a
anymore.
meeting after this because
Yeah.
they just keep recording
We're gonna
stuff.
have to
they're
hire
not
HR.
supposed to. Yeah, I know. We need an HR department. But yeah, no. Thank you guys so much for listening. And if you are celebrating Valentine's Day, I hope that you have a good one and celebrate with your loved ones, even if you are single. You know what I'm saying? Love.
Be safe.
Valentine's Day is about love, bro. It's not about a relationship. It's just about being with the ones you
It's
love.
about friendship too in Spanish.
Hey, shout out to
El Día del
Valentine's.
Amor y la Amistad.
Hey,
You can't
word.
leave that amistad out.
Dang, bro, we could have talked about candies and like give, bro.
Why
these-
didn't we talk about that?
I don't know. But all right, yeah, we'll get into it next time. Thank you guys so much. Have a good one.